parents, and also professional trainers, those who are live on Facebook, those who are on Zoom, those who are on YouTube and different digital media. I'm sure today you will go out of this session with a lot of enlightenment, lot of wisdom, and also expertise as to how to crack the Indian National Championship that's going to happen on 31st October. So here we got a man for all seasons, expert, who has been #1 in his academics from till today. And even today, he is rocking. Hemanth Joshi sir. Welcome Hemanth Joshi sir. Okay, to this session. Put your hands together. Hemanth Joshi sir, welcome on board sir.
Unmute sir.
Unmute sir. Yes. Hemanth sir, welcome on board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just let me give you a brief idea about what this whole session is all about. So the thing is, we got every week, there's something called JMAC, Jayasimha Memory Athletes Club. We call this as Indian Memory Athletes Forum. So anyone who is wanting to take up this memory serious sport, they're all there in this club. So week after week, Monday after Monday, evening 7 to 8. So they are going to interact with me and also wonderful people like you. So these people are very serious people who want to go a long way in the field of memory and also speed reading. Many of them small children, some of them are in the school and college, some of them are professionals, some of them are have already participated in many memory championships, some of them are trainers, and we also got because today you with us. So it's a big honor for all of us. So I know you're very busy. Thank you so much for coming and spending time with us, sir. Thank you so much. Hemanth sir, could unmute, sir? Hemanth sir, could you unmute? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now we can hear you, sir.
Yes, I can hear you. And thank you very much, sir, for that very generous introduction. I'm very privileged and honored to be in the midst of you all. It's a matter of great delight for me to be invited for such a wonderful program. Now, at the very outset, I would like to compliment you for taking up this initiative and creating an awareness, not just in the state of Andhra, but also all throughout India, and I would say internationally, to create that kind of awareness amongst the youngsters for promoting this mind sport.
Yes, sir.
It's a very laudable thing which you have taken up, and I've been knowing you for the past 3-4 years, and the kind of energy and enthusiasm which you exude at all times is remarkable, and it's very important, and it is everyone's good fortune that there are people like you who are striving to make this particular sport a popular one. It's not just a sport for the sake of doing it, but I think it helps you enormously to grow individually, and it helps you in all spheres of life, because at the end of the day, our life is nothing but full of memories. Without memories, our life is almost nothing. And therefore, if we are able to have this kind of training and encouragement for especially for the youngsters, it is going to create wonders in their personal lives. So with this note, I really would like to thank you all, and I wish this program to be going from strength to strength.
Yes, sir.
And make it a national revolution, so to say. With the help of you and with your team, I'm sure you are going to be making enormous strides in this direction. So I wish you all the good luck, and thank you all my friends for joining here this evening.
Yes, sir. Hemanth sir, first and foremost thing is I was going through your profile. You have been rocking ever since you were a child. So be it in BCom, LLB, CA, ICWA, MBA, you have done so many qualifications. What is the purpose? What motivated you to acquire so many qualifications, sir? What actually motivated you? Because today, so many children, they think doing one graduation, they say, oh, enough. This will help me to get a job. I'm perfectly okay. And with this job, I can get married and I can happily raise a family. Why so many qualifications? Now, my question to Hemanth sir is, why did you choose to acquire so many academic qualifications? What prompted you for this, sir?
Well, I come from a small place called Belgaum, which is the border of Karnataka and Maharashtra.
Yes, sir. Belgaum.
It's a small place, but fortunately, the place is full of educational institutions. You
Yes,
see,
sir.
all over the place, right from the 40s, we have engineering college, medical college, homeopathy college, Ayurvedic college, polytechnics, all kinds of education is being provided in this small place. And also, if at the time in 60s and 70s, we had the maximum number of chartered accountants population wise in India. And you see, I always wanted to be part of sports fraternity, but unfortunately that did not happen.
Okay.
So what happened is I had a group of friends and we had nothing but one thing in common, and that is to compete with one another and try to get as many degrees as possible in as short as time as possible.
Yes, sir.
So, books were a good friend. I've been a very avid reader as such. I used to read a lot. And once I passed my BCom graduation, then there was this challenge before us as to how to go about and to make the maximum use of time. So we had a group of 4 friends, and we all joined 3 courses at the same time: the CS,
Okay.
accountancy, the cost accountancy, the law. And we used to give exams every 6 months. And so that particular habit of studying and being with the books and being with a like-minded group of friends, it helped us, and that was a kind of motivation from within. I think once you start enjoying the process, be it the sport or be it academics, then naturally you tend to make good progress in that. And God willing, I mean, thanks to God, we had a very good group support, and that's how we kind of attempted to excel in our academics, and with the help of God's blessings, we were able to achieve whatever we could. So this was one thing, and I always felt that as you start getting involved in any one particular activity, you tend to become more and more innovative. You start finding ways and means of how to do that particular thing in the best possible manner.
Yes,
So
sir.
in those days, although I didn't have any formal memory training, but because we had to give too many exams, every 6 months there is a professional exam. We used to find out ways and means of how to memorize. And today, when I go back and think about the days when I used to use those techniques, those are more or less similar to what I've learned formally. And so I only wish that I had met gentlemen like Mr. Jayasimha many years ago while I was a student, or many other people who were in the field, and that could have really changed the whole thing, even dramatically. You could make astounding progress, especially in the academics, if you were exposed or if you were trained in the soft skills and especially the memory training. Because as you are very much yourself a champion, these memory skills that are being taught today formally are the ones which are 2000-year-old techniques, and there is nothing which is unusual. They're all brain friendly techniques. And therefore I believe that if from the youngsters, from the age of maybe 7 or 8 or 10, which is what you are doing, if you are able to encourage people to use those techniques, then they could do wonders. So this is basically the chart. Just because I couldn't do much of sports outdoors,
Okay.
I used to play once in a while. This is squash and table tennis, and but then most of the time, I would be with
I see.
friends, with books and stuff like that.
Okay. Sir, Hema sir, just want you to request little louder you speak because voice is coming little low, your voice.
Is it?
Little low. Okay. Maybe little closer to the mic. So that will help us to listen to you a little more clearly, sir.
Yeah. Is
Right.
it okay now? Is it
Now it's okay? Now it's much better, sir. Much better now.
Okay, I
Much
am
better.
now. Yeah, I have come closer to the screen now.
Yeah. Now, yes, sir. Now you're up now. Okay. Now we can see all of you. See you clearly, sir. Sir, that's what I've been telling to all my students, that the way physical sport right now, Olympics is happening in Japan, and we are celebrating every single medal. So ever since we have human beings have evolved, we have been wanting to exhibit our muscle power. Who is the strongest? But who has got the best brain? Never ever there was a competition. So this memory championship is one such platform where you can showcase how good a brain you have. So like the physical sport, this is a mental sport. So having come to this point, I want to ask you, sir, when did you shift to Bahrain? How many years back? When and how why did you shift to Bahrain from Belgaum to Bahrain? So both of them are B, but Belgaum and Bahrain too far off. So why did you choose to go to Bahrain, sir?
Well, in between these two B's, there is also M and
Yes, sir.
another M. I qualified as a chartered accountant
Yes,
in
sir.
1980, and thereafter I worked for 2 years in ICICI Mumbai.
Okay.
Thereafter, I managed to get a job in Muscat for one of
Basket. Okay.
for the British companies.
Yes,
I
sir.
was there from 83 to 95. So many years ago, I left India. And in 95, I happened to get an opportunity here in Bahrain.
Okay.
Then for career progression and all, I decided to change, because also it was a kind of a better learning process, because you move from one geography to another, you end up in meeting different people, your job profile is also different. And so that's why I decided to take up that plunge. And ever since 95, I've been here in Bahrain. It's a beautiful place, and
Yes, sir.
just the years rolled by, first 2 years you keep account, but thereafter, you lose that, because of the comforts of the job, because of the working environment, and because of the prolific opportunities you get to, to grow yourselves in various fields, the fields whichever are of your choice. And so that's how I have been, here. And in fact, I did mention to you that it was one of my wishes that we
Okay.
had the World Memory Championship also here in Bahrain. But for
Okay.
that, we may have to develop some sort of infrastructure.
Yes,
If
sir.
there are some government approvals and all which are possible, we can manage that. But people like you should try to promote this here in Bahrain, because I am one man army.
Yes, sir.
And if you can think about this, you can start having your training in Bahrain. And there are about 30,000 students, Indian students,
Okay.
who are in the class, from the class 5 to, I would say, class 12. So this is a very fertile ground for people to be trained. And I'm looking forward to that opportunity where I can associate myself with
Yes,
people
sir.
who would help to promote this sport in this part of the world.
Sir, I want to ask you this question. You are a professional speaker, and professionally, you are very, very busy. I know, being a CA, SWA, being in the board of directors, and best CFO in the year 2015, with so much of responsibilities, you are financially and also professionally, you are settled. And why this interest had come to you that I have to pursue this memory as a serious sport? When did it come? How did it come? How did your journey start as a memory athlete, sir?
Well, you probably also have a similar caliber, and in fact, much better than many of us. That the success of any individual is dependent on not his success in just one field. These are the days of specialization and diversification. So anyone who has diverse skills is the one who will rule this world. So you just don't have to be stuck to the academics, or if you are in sports, you don't have to be just stuck to the sports. I always believe that you should have multiple identities. And that's the reason, although I was in academics and have been doing reasonably well in the professional field, I realized that there are a few areas such as soft skills which could be developed, which could help me enormously. One of those was public speaking, and I joined Toastmasters. And for all the youngsters who are here, I would like to
Yes, sir.
just tell them that be part of some speakers forum or some Toastmasters club,
In
because
Hyderabad, I only started, sir, Vision Toastmasters. I only started.
exactly, because communication is the basis of anyone's personality and the success which he aspires to get. With the help of public speaking, you are able to think, you can organize your thoughts, and it helps you not only in your social life but as also in your professional life. So public speaking was one thing which helped me to kind of grow out of my shackles. The other thing which I did was I have done training in neuro linguistic programming, which is an extension of human psychology. This was again an attempt to kind of diversify into something which is different. And that helped me to learn lots of skills which can be used both in the personal level as well as at the professional levels. So, in all of this, I was thinking, seeing one thing which was in common is that a person who can remember more can be a winner always. And because there is an enormous potential for each one of us to internalize whatever we learn and to memorize that and to reproduce at a given time in the required context. As I mentioned earlier, in my studies, I used to do a little bit of innovation by way of mind mapping, or finding some sort of techniques how by whereby you could remember the things. And I happened to read few books of Tony Buzan
Mm-hmm.
and also Dominic O'Brien.
Brain.
About 4 or 5 years ago, I read a book written by Joshua Foer, which is this
Okay.
Moonwalking with Einstein.
Moonwalking. Okay.
Yeah. In 2007, we had a World Memory Championship in Bahrain,
Yes, sir.
and I did attend that, but not I did not witness any of those disciplines. I attended a few sessions of Tony Buzan that was
Okay.
on mind mapping, and I had happened to meet few people there. And I was quite mesmerized by the fact that people can memorize so many things, big chunks of information. And that has been, always at the base of my mind, at the surface level, somewhere it is there. And I should try to learn this and try to learn it formally. And so about 4 years ago, I happened to have, as I was surfing through the net, I kind of found out some websites which told me about how you can go and learn about the memory skills
Okay.
in a formal manner. And at that time, when I searched, I found out names of a few people. One of those was Florian Delay. I think you know Florian Delay.
Yes,
He's a
sir.
French gentleman. And then I picked up the phone and called him up, and I spoke to him and said, is there any way I can start learning this professionally or as a proper discipline, as a sport? And
Okay.
he says it's very much possible. But even at that stage, I was quite overwhelmed by the fact that a normal person can memorize so many things. And as I started talking to him and learning about it, it dawned upon me that, there is no such thing as a good memory or bad memory. It's only the trained memory and untrained memory.
Yeah.
And with the help of this training, it is possible to improvise your skills. And in fact, as you start practicing, you can build up those skills. And those skills can go not arithmetically, but geometrically, you can exponentially, you can build up those skills. You yourself an example of this particular thing. And so with this, about 3.5, 4 years ago, I decided to take this plunge adventure into taking part into the national championship. Now, fortunately, for senior category, there is not much of competition. But
Yes.
in a way, it was good for me because it was a baby step.
Yes.
When you are a kind of a beginner, you cannot compete with the giants in the field. But at the same time, you can get a lot of motivation by being there along with them.
Yes, sir.
Although you participate in a different category, you get to know the nuances of the championship. And one thing which I have always felt, whether it is in my academics or in my public speaking or in any aspect of my career, that if you take part in competitions, that is probably the fastest way of growing into that field,
Yeah.
because that gives you a target, it gives you a time frame, and because that time frame is there, you start working towards it. Without exams, we can never be as good as what we are. Exams give you the direction, they challenge yourselves. And when you take up that challenge, and you start competing with your own self, and you can see the benefits of that. And that's why every single championship which used to happen in public speaking at club level, at the national level, at the international level, I would not miss an opportunity. And I realized that that is the fastest way of growing in any field. So same
Yes.
way, when it came to memory championships, I said I may not win a medal or I may not be anywhere there, but at least it will help me to to prepare, and that's why I took part in the 2018. Fortunately, I could do well, and ever since then, because I've been consistently working on it, and you know something, when you like something, you have to be very assiduously following it. Sincerity, there is no substitute, and if you are sincere about it, persevering, I'm sure the results will come. And when the results come, they promote you even more further. They prompt you even to do better.
Yes, sir.
This has been the kind of the nutshell of
Yes, sir.
what has happened over the years.
Now, just to sum it up, what you just now said, to all the people who are listening right now, see, you need to understand what Hemanth sir was telling is that most of you want to become IIT engineers, you want to become doctor, you want to be topper in UPSC, you want to become a scientist, you want to become business person. Some of you want to go on to become film actors. I don't know what is your goal, but finally what Hemanth sir says is whatever may be your goal, but learning this memory skill and taking part in the championship, that's going to give you extra kick, and you have a goal post, so you know where to hit the ball. So without the goal post, you don't know where to take the ball to. So there has to be timeline, there has to be goal post, there has to be challenge. Hence this memory championship, the very fact that you're going to take part, so you're going to meet lot of winners, people who have achieved something, who are very serious in this sport. So the very fact that you are in that league, you will actually push yourself up. Number one. Okay. Number two, the very fact that you rub your shoulders with them, you tend to pick up their strategies, because everyone will have their own strategies. See, the way I practice is my own thing. Though the basic techniques are same, the way Hemanth sir would practice his own strategies, I have got my own strategies, and then everyone has got their own strategies, and you will be able to develop your own strategies, and you can go on to become Indian memory champion as well. So before I take one more question and ask Hemanth sir, and let me just share with you that last 2 years, Hemanth sir, that because of COVID, so Hemanth sir was aware when he came to Hyderabad, when we did one big memory championship here, he was here. Then we were there in Bangalore, 2019, sir, 2019. Bangalore, he had come all the way. You people don't want to go from Amirpet to Kukatpalli. He flew from Bahrain to India to take part in the championship. So that is the commitment. Sometimes you ask, why do people climb Everest? Why Sachin scores 100 centuries? Why Jayasimha does many Guinness World Records? Why Hemanth? Hemanth sir, at this point in time, he wants to take part in the championship, 3 times Indian memory champion and 2 times world memory champion. What? Because that gives you kick. So you'll be full of life. And last 2 years, then what happened is the whole world has gone through a change. So no more physical competition. In fact, 2020, it was my dream when I went to Wuhan in the month of December in 2019 to bring World Memory Championship, which Hemanth sir, you are aware, right? So we wanted to conduct the World Memory Championship in India for the first time. But COVID came. And then with no physical meetings, we did an online memory championship, because I don't want people to get disconnected with the memory sport. That's how I'd been doing it. And this year, whatever mistakes that we have faced last time in the software, in the way we conducted, all of them are going to overcome, and we are going to have the best memory championship. So those of you who joined for the first time, let me just share one PPT with you quickly. Then I will ask Hemanth sir few more questions and advice about how to go about the entire memory championship. Okay, sir, give me just 2 minutes of time, sir. Okay, I want to just share with you this particular thing now. Okay, so this memory championship, okay, Indian National Open Online Memory Championship. So you don't have to come to Hyderabad. You don't have to go to Bangalore. You don't have to go to Chennai. You can be in your own drawing room in front of your system, either laptop or desktop, and you can take up in this competition. So very limited physical movement, and no much of expenditure. You don't have to disturb your mom and dad. So everyone can take part. And in this competition, when is it happening? Indian National Open Memory Online Championship, 31st October, Sunday. So we have got exactly 3 months more to go. 3 months. So 3 months, if you register today, are enough for you to become the champion, right? And why memory sport? That we are going to ask Hemanth sir. Who can participate? Any Indian or a foreign citizen, he can take part because this is an open memory championship. Look at last year in Bangalore. Look at the physical competition where Hemanth are also taken part. Look at this entire hall full of people. And you are thinking that should I come, should I not come? Look at this competition. Look at this competition. This is Dominic O'Brien, about whom Hemanth sir was mentioning. And then look at this. Was 1 year previous that happened in Hyderabad, this competition. Okay. And these are the guests who came on the stage that day. And why to become memory athletes, all that you know. So you are going to get World Memory Sports School for India certificate. Okay. It's going to be booster in academics as well as mental health booster. And then if you can, you have a chance to win 1 lakh rupees prize money as well in this competition. Okay. And you will be able to get a lot of medals and trophies, which you can have them, and you will also get a certificate. Okay, extra credit for certificate. This year in IITs, IIMs, NEET exam, and many interviews, when people said that have been in a participant in the Indian Memory Championship, they got some extra credits, so you can be there. And I have taken last year the Indian contingent to meet the vice president, and he was very happy, right? He congratulated the entire Indian team who represented India at the World Memory Platform, right? And then you will get lifetime membership for every week club. And this is me at the I'll be interacting with you with lot of guests every Monday. I'll be interacting with you. This is Tony Buzan and the different World Memory Council presidents. And this is the letter that was written by Prime Minister Modi ji, that he wanted to meet me after the COVID. And yesterday only again I mailed him that saying that, sir, this year we're having the online memory championship. Is it possible for me to meet you? So I don't know. This is the letter that had come the Prime Minister's office. Okay, this 100% credibility. So the way we got yoga right now into sport, the way you got chess into sport, this memory, 1 or 2 years from now, I'm not going to leave any stone unturned till this becomes part of sports, and it becomes sport. And this certificate that you represent India is going to help you, take you a long way. By the time others people wake up, they try to learn what is memory, you will be 10 steps ahead of them, right? And this was me with Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore. He was then sports minister who had agreed to introduce this memory as a sport in the sport category. And children up till 12 years will be in the kids category, junior 13 to 17 years, adult 18 to 59 years. So seniors 60 years and above. That means you are in the school, you are in the college, you are a professional, you are a retired person, doesn't really matter. Whoever you are, you can be part of this memory championship. And we got 5 disciplines: memorizing random numbers, memorizing random words, memorizing binary numbers, memorizing random playing cards, memorizing historic future dates. And all these 5 disciplines, whoever gets the maximum score out of this 5 overall score, he will become the Indian National Memory Champion. How to tackle each discipline, I will be covering that. And we got a special video course on this, which you can learn. And you can also practice on the practicing software as well. Okay, we got prize money 1 lakh rupees, and then we got different things now. So we got different in kids category money, junior category, adult category, senior category, and the youngest kid. So if you are the youngest kid, you too have a cash prize and a trophy and a certificate. Okay, and you will get in every discipline, you will get a certificate. Every category you will get a certificate. And if you become a topper, you will get a certificate. Besides, you will get one participant certificate as well. Okay, your scores, rankings will be put up in the National Memory Council of India.com website, Indian Memory Championship.com website. Okay, and who can participate? Students, teachers, professors, adults, anyone, parents, trainers, your whole of your family can participate. And only thing is how to participate. See, this participation is, there's an examination fee of 1499, which is very, very small compared to physical competition where we had 6,000 rupees. It's only 1499, and that's all. Okay. And this registration, how you can do, you can go to the website jayasimha.in, you can go to National Memory Council of India.com, and you will see the registration link there. Click there and you can actually register for the championship. Otherwise, look at these numbers. Take your cell phone and or else take one screenshot. 99850 99850 and that is my email ID visionj@gmail.com. You can take one screenshot. You can send me a mail. I'll send you the link. Otherwise, you can message these two numbers. You can contact these two numbers. You can call up these two numbers. They will further help you how to register for the championship. And these are the two websites. Take one screenshot and today you can register. Okay. Now, having said this, okay, now I want to talk to Hemanth sir. Hemanth sir, now my question is, many parents are asking me that my son want to become IIT engineer. You teach him how to remember the formulas, equations, theorems, how to remember in the textbook, King Ashoka, Indus Valley Civilization, American War of Independence. Why this memory championship? Now, that's what the big question all the parents are asking, sir. So what do you think? What should we answer? Okay, to all the parents who are right now here, how memory sport will help any person, sir? How memory sport will help any person?
Well, memorization techniques are only a means to an end. These are the tools which will take you towards your goal. Now, your goal is not necessarily to memorize thousands of digits and thousands of random words or playing cards. Your goal is to train your mind to develop that ability to memorize whatever is required for you at any given context. Normally, what happens is exams, even today, are very much, there is a lot of thrust on memorizing, reproduction of what you have learned. And that is going to remain because unless you take the knowledge in, assimilate and reproduce at the right time, there is no way of assessing your abilities. And therefore, make no mistake about it, the ability to memorize anything and everything at will is going to be a very potent thing in your hands. Whether it is your competitive exams, whether it is a professional life, I'll tell you, even when it comes to making presentations to the board of directors, for instance, we have to refer to various notes, various financial statements. There are hundreds of numbers which need to be remembered. With the help of these techniques, what has happened is I just have to go through the data, maybe just 15 minutes to 20 minutes. And then it helps me to make presentations even for a couple of hours without having to refer to notes. Now, how this happens is because you learn the basics of how the brain can reproduce whatever has been stored in. And there are very unique and I would say very simple brain-friendly techniques which are taught when you go into a formal memory training. So it is like, if you want to really be a very strong person, if you want to be, for example, playing tennis, sometimes the tennis 5 sets go in for 5 hours, 6 hours. And in very difficult and challenging circumstances, you have to withstand, you have to have the flexibility, the strength, and all that you need to have.
Yes, sir.
Now, what happens is you train yourself physically all throughout the year. And that helps you to gain the strength. And that strength you use at the time of your championships.
Absolutely, sir. Beautifully said.
So this is what happens. All you are doing is you are gathering the ammunition to be able to fight the battle or the war. If you don't have the ammunition, then you will not be able to fight the war. For example, if someone were to tie your hands and ask you to fight, how can you do that? You are handicapped. With the help of these techniques, you will be able to spruce up your skills and sharpen up the saw and use it at the time when it is required. And you will be surprised how your brain helps you in accomplishing that. But for that, it's necessary to have a very formal approach towards this because you can learn anything haphazardly or you can learn it in a systematic manner. If you learn it in a professional and systematic manner, and trust me, there are not too many things here. there are very few basic things as to how you can learn the memory techniques. It actually trains you as to how to make use of your right brain so as to be able to convert a data into images or things which are friendly for the brain to reproduce. Many times, I wonder why no one in our schools and colleges ever told us that the boss of memory is our right brain and not the left brain. Left brain is only, sequencing the words, it doesn't take a holistic view. Whereas the right brain, which is the seat of memory, it takes into account the intuition, the harmony, the colors, the rhythm, and the feelings and the emotions and the images. If you have stored anything in the form of images, the brain finds it very easy to recollect, because what we have is something called as spatial memory, SPATIAL. That is
Space.
memory which is related to the space. When we remember anything, it is always remembered in context of a place. So, for example, if you were to put any content in a frame or a context, it's very easy to memorize or get back to that content. So, either go from context to the context or from the context to the content. And that is what is basically taught in the memory techniques. So, it's not a rocket science. Within a matter of few months, you'll get to know the basics of this. And then, with the help of your being persevering, you can do wonders. And don't think about just going and cramming a deck of cards or the random digits or the numbers, binary digits. No, that's not the whole purpose. The purpose is to endow ourselves with that skill which is already there within us. Only it is to be sharpened, remodified, it should be improvised. And that is what will help you in the day-to-day life. Today, if you want to memorize poetry, for instance, if you want to memorize or create thousands of passwords, for instance, which is very much required these days. All those techniques you will start learning through this. So this is only a means to an end. It is like when we earn money, money is not by itself anything. It is a
Yes.
means to enjoy our life. Similarly, the skill of memorizing is to be used for making your life more, enriched, and you will see the benefits of this happening very quickly.
Yes, sir. And sir, one most important question before I open your session for participants to ask question. So many of them have these questions, sir. When I open up this championship 3 months before, I tell them to register. Many people say, sir, too early. Time is there, no. I will do it later. When the time is running, we are coming closer. They say, sir, we cannot practice because we don't know. So right now, even now, some people have got a question that 3 months time, is it enough for me to perform well in the memory championship? That's what the big question mark for them. What do you think? So if someone prepares for the next 3 months, so will they have a chance to perform well in the memory championship? And if so, every day, how much time you suggest them to practice this?
Well, your progress starts from the day you join anything. So let's say we have 3 months now.
Okay.
In 3 months, you may not be a Tony Buzan or you may not be Dominic O'Brien, but you will move progressively towards your goal. So in these 2 3 months, because there is a goal for you, a specific time frame for you, you will definitely put in a lot of efforts. And suppose we are talking of a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the least and 10 being the best.
Yes, sir.
You may not reach 10. You may probably reach a level of 2 or 3 or 4. But having reached that level of 3, the whole next year will be there for you, where you can go from level 3 to level 7. And let's say 2 years from there, you can reach a level 8 or 9. So you have to make a beginning somewhere. If you want to read a book, you cannot just keep looking at the book. You have to take the book and start opening and start reading. Some people finish the book in one day, some in 1 week, some in 1 month. But then, unless you start reading every page, unless you are at it, you will not be able to finish. So, in reverse, if you want to finish a book, you should start reading. Let it take its time. Don't be in a rush. Don't be anxious or too nervous about it. And because these things will come with the law of least effort. Don't put too much of stress on yourself. Take it as a sport, as a joy, and you will see that you start making very, very substantial and significant progress as you move along. And of course, you have to put in some hours every day. Now, if it was going to be 7 or 8 months from now, I would say you can spend 1 or 2 or 3 hours. But maybe now, because the time is less, you will have to kind of go a little bit faster. But here again, there are many people who ask me this question. Is we know many people do lot many things on the same day. Everyone has only 24 hours. We don't get time. We have to create time, and
Yes,
this
sir.
is the main thing. Like, if I were to take my own example, I don't have time. It's a very demanding job, almost 10 to 12 hours we have to slog. We have a family, we have a social life also. So from where do I get these extra 3 4 hours that I spend on the memory training? And the answer to that is, you create a time. You don't create excuse, you create time. For
Yes.
example, when I go for a walk, it's about 1 hour every day. I use that time to do my memory drill. When I drive, I am almost 1 hour in the car going and coming back. That 1 hour is there. There are times when, you wait in the lounges, you wait for the aeroplane to come in. You wait for, lots of things. Like I used to go and drop my kids for the classes, pick them up. In
Okay.
between, you have to wait for 15 20 minutes. Use that time. So everyone has these pockets of time in which you can, squeeze, or you can steal, and you can create time for yourselves. And so don't worry, if you have got the willingness, you will find time. If you want to sing a song, you will find a song. It's like
Yes,
that.
sir. Beautifully said, sir. Where there is a will, there is a way. Yes, sir. And my basic question is that we are all on a mission that unlike UK, unlike US, unlike China, how far they have gone in the field of memory sport, India is still struggling. And when we talk about memory sport, many people are still not taking it up. So I'm trying to spread this awareness that memory should become a daily habit. The way you brush your teeth, the way you take your bath, so the way you go for jogging. So memory should be part of your daily routine. And if everybody can do, soon we'll have a country which will have physically capable people with beautiful minds. And that is an unbeatable combination. What do you say, sir?
Yes, I have always believed, not because I'm an Indian, but I have seen different nationalities, and with due respect to everyone, Indian brains are probably the most intelligent brains in the world.
Yes, sir.
At least they come in the top three. Indians are very innovative, they're very creative, and they're very sharp. They can observe a lot because there's so much of happening, so many things happening around, and we learn a lot by observation. So we have people around who have excelled. There are people who always have been there as as our torch bearers. Looking at them, we can create a lot of get a lot of mentors, many people eager to help one another. And therefore I believe that because we are a very intelligent race, there are no limits to what we can accomplish. If you take any field, whether it's science, technology, IT, take any field, Indians have been doing exceedingly well. If you compare the top three nationalities, the top three professionals, one of them definitely is Indian. And so, it is very easy. If once you make up your mind, the point here is to get a good mentor and join something in a systematic manner.
Yes, sir.
Don't do things haphazardly. Try to get like-minded group, because there is a lot of positive energy when you have a like-minded group. For example, you want to join this coaching for memory, get one or two of your friends with you, so that you have that positive energy and you feel interested, and have a mentor. And that's very, and do it in a systematic basis. Like as Jayasimha sir said, it's like brushing your teeth. We have food every day, 2 times, 3 times. This is something which has to be done as a matter of routine, and it doesn't take much time. Once I was talking to Alex Mullen, number one world champion,
Yes, sir.
and I asked him how much time you spend. He says, "Well, I spend about half an hour to 1 hour." And I don't think he was not telling the truth. He was telling the truth. If you have a systematic approach, if you have a good guide, good institution to guide you, 1 hour, 1.5 hours on a daily basis, plus squeezing this time, stealing this time,
Yes, sir.
of 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, will do wonders in your day-to-day routines.
Yeah. Perfectly said, sir. Wonderfully said. And most important thing is that if we, this is one such community, sir. Like as you said, take two or three friends who are like-minded, and if you are in that particular community, because our thoughts, our actions are influenced by people around us. So this is a special community, and I don't know any other country has such a community that week after week we are meeting, we're discussing about memory championship, memory sport, how to attempt this discipline, how to attempt this discipline, and sharing with each other. And right now, we've got wonderful people like you, the experts, who are sharing their own lifetime experiences. So I'm sure all these guys are going to get immensely benefited, right? And now I would like to throw open this session for question answers. Anyone would like to ask a question, you raise your hand and Sunil will unmute that person. Sunil, can you take this up, please? Anyone would like to ask a question to Hemanth sir? Any one of you got any question, you can raise your hand and Sunil sir will unmute you and then you can post a question to Hemanth sir. Any one of you, any question about the championship, about studies, about memory, anything that you may have, because yeah, someone is there. Okay, anyone, just unmute them. Anyone, just raise your hand. I want to ask a question. Dikshit Chaudhary. Okay. Dikshit Chaudhary. Sunil, unmute Dikshit Chaudhary. Dikshit. Dikshit Chaudhary. Sunil, can you unmute? Dikshit, you unmute yourself. Dikshit, you have muted yourself. Dikshit. Okay. Yeah, Gauri Setti.
Yes, sir. I want to know how the memory sports affect mental health.
Yaman sir, how memory sport affect mental health?
It is like taking tonic for our own self. When you have, when your food has not much of nutrition, what you do, you generally take calcium, take vitamin, you take vitamin C, vitamin 12, B12, and those kinds of things. So these are the supplements which you use to enhance your nutrition. Now, here what happens is the very fact that you start using your faculties, you create more and more neural pathways in the brain. We are used to using a very set line of thinking or only very few things that we have been used to all along. Now, a person who is more intelligent has got more and more neural pathways. Now, those neural pathways have to be created, and those are created with the help of this training. So once you start training and once you start jogging your memory with the help of those drills, there's kind of things like spaced repetition, you have these, and with the help of these, you start building up your mental muscle. And initially, if you are able to remember, let's say only 10 things in 1 minute, as you practice, you'll be able to increase it from 10 to 15 to 20. And that progression is very natural. And there is nothing to be surprised about it, because this is how our brain works. Either we use it or we lose it. If you do not want to use your hand, for example, if somebody's hand is fractured and they'll put it into the plaster and it is made immobile for a couple of weeks. After those 3 weeks, even when the plaster is removed, even when the hand knows that there is no plaster, it refuses to move and it refuses to make its own natural movements because those muscles have been frozen. So you need to go in for physiotherapy and start getting back to your motions and earlier activities. This is exactly what has happened. We have not been using our abilities. The brain, they say, has got enormous potential. The potential is so much that if you were to put all your abilities, the ability to memorize, if you were to put into a huge memory drive and put that and watch how much is there, it will take about 320 years, 24 by 7, the TV has to on for it to complete that particular memory capacity. That is the amount of abilities we have in our brain. It has got zillions and zillions of associations which it can make. But we are not here to remember all those zillion things. We want basic things which can help us to make our life easier and make it even more successful in terms of memorizing the stuff, reproducing it. Because every single stage we have to give exams. Whether you are given grades or not, you have to give your exams, and that is by way of reproducing what you have. Now, if you have some knowledge and if it cannot be reproduced, it's of no use. Now, this will help you to actually come out with that particular ability to reproduce whatever you have stored inside at whatever time you want. And so, the more you practice, it is like giving yourself a booster dose or a shot in the arm, they say. With the help of these techniques, you will start using those things which you have never been used before, and then you will see the results for yourself. There is no magic about it. It's pretty straightforward. And you don't have to be an Einstein. A normal person can do this because there is no such thing as people gifted with extraordinary memory. No, that's a fallacy. It's a wrong notion. It's a myth. And you need to explore it, and that the only way you can do it is by training yourself. Yeah.
Very well said, sir. Sunil Dikshit Chaudhary. Dikshit, can you unmute yourself and speak? Oh, okay. Gauri Shetty. Anyone else would like to ask a question? You can raise your hand. Anyone would like to ask a question? Because you will not get this opportunity. Yes. Can you kindly unmute Sunil? Sunil, unmute. Guneshekaran.
Yes.
Hemanth sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Let me just talk about Guneshekaran sir. And he is such an active participant. I am so proud. Okay. He's full of life. He's like electric wire. And he's like you, sir. He's another person who's like you. And look at Guneshekaran sir. He still want to learn, full of energy, bubbling. He sends me every 3-4 days one message. I want to go through that course, this course. He is your replica, sir. And he got a question to you. Guneshekaran sir. Ask
Yes, sir.
Hemanth, sir.
Yes, thank you so much for the compliment, sir. In fact, I am in the fag end of my career, but still I want to learn memory because to keep myself updated about the technologies, and also, as you said, memory is very good for mental health also. And in spite of this, all these things, we have some stress while learning memory.
Yes.
How to overcome the stress? Because when you say it is a normal thing, we can teach so many people. But when you say it is a competition, means I am wondering how I am going to compete with this. Can I compete? Can I at least go through this? Something like that. All the questions are coming to me. How to overcome this fear or anxiety? If it is a normal course, I will simply learn. I can attend thousands of courses, no issues. But it is a competition. Wow. With this competition of how I'm going to perform.
Yeah, Mr.
Question is still
Guneshekaran,
bothering my mind. Can you suggest some
yes,
techniques?
definitely. I will tell you something. There is one thing which you can start, and in fact, the fact that you are such an accomplished person, you start loving the person in the mirror. Step number 1. If you love yourself unconditionally, accept what you are. That is the first step. And then you break all the barriers to your own growth. Number 2, your competition is not with the world. Your competition is with your own self.
Yes.
My goal as I get up every day is to be better than yesterday. That's all my simple goal. I don't want to be Alexander the Great or the Napoleon Bonaparte, or I don't want to be any of the monarchs of this world. I want to be a person which is a revised version of myself every moment. Okay. Now that means that you have to start learning something. You have to add to your toolkits that which you don't have, because that's the only way you can make yourself feel empowered. Correct. So your competition is with your own self. Number 3, you don't compare yourself with anybody. Who has asked you to compare yourself with anyone for that matter? You compare yourself with only yourself. Today, if you are able to lift 500 grams, you say, okay, my goal is to lift 700 grams tomorrow. Forget about somebody lifting 102 kilos. Even if that lady was only 49 kg, she lifted 102.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about anybody else. And the fourth and most important thing is, unless you take part in any competition, you will not have that roadmap to actually start moving towards the goal. If you do not have that goal, you will never work for yourself. So give yourself that goal. And that's why what I say is, you don't have to score 100 out of 100 in this examination. No. First of all, remove that word examination. That puts a threat, because this is how our examination system has been. It has instilled too much of tension within us. The moment we say, I'm going to test you now, Mr. Gunashekaran, you become tensed.
Yes.
The moment I say, I'm going to ask you a question, even before you have heard the question, you are tense. Whether you're going to know the answer or not. So don't worry about all that. What will happen, you will not be able to answer the question. Finish, that's it. But you will know what you don't know. And that you can learn. And next time when somebody asks you that question, you know what you didn't know earlier.
Yes.
So it's a very simple process. It's a process of improvising your own self. Do not worry about the result. Even if you get 10 out of 100, don't worry, take part this time. Next time you will get 30 out of 100. After 2 years, you will get 60 out of 100. And after 4 or 5 years, you will be better than everybody around you. Because that's how it happens. Success begets success. And failure begets failure. But we don't have to think of the second part. We think only of the first part. And that is success. And success here is not to go and stand on the rooftop and tell the whole world. No, not at all. It is only going to help you to love that person in the mirror more than what you loved before. So you please read my book, and that the first chapter is there.
Okay.
Start loving the person in the mirror, period.
Super.
Everything, every obstacle, every resistance will just dissolve. You are probably the same age as me, but I don't have any authority to give advice. But this is what I'm telling you from my own experience. Just be your own self, compete with your own self, compare with your own self, and start loving yourself the way you are, and give yourself the challenges.
Yes, sir.
Don't just sit there and say, because complacence can kill you, and it does kill you. After all this talk, if you don't take any action, what's the use? So you have to take action, and that action is to take part in the championship.
Yes.
And join the course of Jayasimha sir. I'm not here to market anybody's courses or anything, but I'm saying you have to start somewhere.
Yes.
That's the best way to start.
And Guna sir is going to be part of this championship this year. Yes, sir, Guna sir. You need to register now for the championship now.
Yes, yes. You have to be. Yes.
Okay. And Sunil, one more person who would like to ask a question. Who is this? Praveen Kumar.
Hi, sir.
Praveen.
Hi, Hemanth sir and Jayant sir.
Hello. Praveen.
Jayasimha sir.
Good evening, Praveen.
Good evening, sir. Thank you, Jayasimha sir, for arranging the wonderful session with Hemanth sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, Hemanth sir, I would like to understand, you have won the 3 national championships and 2 world championships and so many academic credentials. I would like to understand from you that what is the strategy or the plan or approach you adapt for your success?
Well, personally, I'm a very big daydreamer. And daydreaming means I visualize a lot.
Okay.
And that has helped me because I always start with the end in mind. If you have read the book, Stephen Covey's 7
Yes.
Habits, the first thing he says is start with the end in the mind. For example, when I started writing my first book, even before I had written the first alphabet, I had made a list of people whom I'm going to invite at the time of opening the book.
Okay.
Book launch. That is the kind of visualization which will really prompt you to see what you want to see. You will start feeling what you want to feel. you will start hearing what you want to hear. These are the NLP principles. You should see what you want to see, hear what you want to hear, and feel what you want to feel. So first and foremost, the answer to your question is, your strategy is see your goal in big way in front of you, big images, rotating images, panoramic views, lot of color in that. You see yourself succeeding. And that should be your prompter all the time. Every day morning, you think about it. While sleeping, you think about it. When you go into meditation, if you're doing meditation, think about it. Start thinking of the success before you even start doing anything. But that doesn't mean that you just stop there. This will only help you to go into the faster track. Because without having that goal and without that inner motivation, nothing in the world can help you. No teacher, no guru, nobody will help you. You are your own guru. And the thing that will really take you onto the fast track is that goals which you keep seeing every day. Mr. Jayasimha, he has been dreaming of having the India World Memory Championship in India. This is an example of this. You start seeing what you want to see in your mental eyes. You start hearing what you want to hear in your mental ears. And you start feeling what you would like to feel inside yourselves. These are the three major tricks which will help you to break all the shackles and create records for your own self.
Yes.
Trust me, you do this. Trust me.
Sir Hemanth sir, adding to that, when I wanted to invite, when the World Championship was to happen in India, I wanted Prime Minister Modi as the chief guest. And when I told my people, they laughed. He said, Prime Minister, you think you can write to him? But I had written. And then you saw that I also got a reply from the PMO's office that, yes, I'm with you, but I would like to meet you. That means what? Whatever you imagine, you believe, and then your life is going to go that way. And I'm sure, sir, maybe the moment COVID will go away, the first physical competition, World Championship, will happen in India. I don't know how much it's going to cost. Even today, I have no idea from where the 2 or 3 or 4 crores rupees are going to come. I have no idea. But I know if your intention is positive, if you are in the right path, whole universe will converge to make the dream happen. So I know that people like, these wonderful memory athletes, all of them will pave the way and connection will happen and things will happen. So Hemanth sir's secret is, he says that you need to visualize your success and then you need to plan. So you need to work towards that. That's what he is wanting to say. Thank you so much for enlightening us, sir. And one more person, anyone has got a question now? Who is this? Kurmurti?
Ritika.
Adhitika, yeah.
Sir, this is a rather foolish question.
Yes.
But as you said that memory can boost mental health, can it also boost physical health or only mental?
Well, you are as strong in your mind as your body is, and vice versa. If you are happy, your body will always be in a happier state, and vice versa. Mental health and physical health go hand in hand. The moment you start improving your mental health, you start succeeding at whatever exams you have, you start feeling so good about yourself. And it also raises your self-esteem. When your self-esteem is raised, you just look into your mirror, your skin starts glowing. You start conducting yourself more emphatically, more confidently. And so, doing anything which will help you either ways, physically or mentally, it complements one another. So do whatever you think, is your wish. You start working towards it, get success, and see how both your mind and physique, they all, they start singing together, they synchronize together, they resonate one another.
Yeah. Anyone else has got any other question? Soon, anyone else? Yes.
Yeah. Namaste. I'm Dr. Prakash.
Dr. Prakash, sir.
Can I hear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I am from Visakhapatnam, sir.
Yes.
So I'm age of 43, but I'm learning for memory because of the only reason my kid is grade 3. She is studying.
Okay.
So can I make her to get records, because already she got at the age of 4, she got India Book of Records and Telugu Book of Records in memory.
Okay.
But in coming years, I want to make her to get more records, especially Guinness World Record. So after I have seen and I have frequently I have seen your videos, I got confidence so that I can make her to get a record. Yeah, this is my question, sir. Can I make?
Yes, Mr. Jayasimha is very much there, and you can take his guidance. He has got an organized approach towards this thing. And earlier, you enroll your child into this formal training. It's going to help you, because we as parents, we may do a lot of things, but maybe we don't know the formal way of training them. And also, the children, when they are in a group and they are with a teacher, they learn faster at any age for that matter. And so you put her into an institution. As I said in the very beginning, let her be in a group where there is a systematic training. She also has a peer group who is doing the same thing. So she derives a lot of pleasure in that at the same time as she is learning. And then she will start seeing the progress. And it is very important to join a formal training. If you want to be a world champion, Grand Slam champion in tennis, you cannot just do it sitting at home. You have to join a club, you have to hire a trainer, you have to start practicing, you have to start taking part in the competitions. And that's the process. So unless you follow the process, you cannot go from A to Z. So do join whatever institution or mentors you have. And that's the only way, you can raise your child in a very systematic manner. So as she comes out with the best within her, because that talent is there in everyone. It only needs to be, honed properly. Like, they say a sculptor, he takes only in the beginning what he has. Is only a stone, right? There's nothing there, but he makes God out of it by chiseling it, by, working on it. And that's the job of these institutions and the mentors. So you would put them into this formal line.
Okay. Sir. Is there any particular age, sir, for kids? She is right now. She is 7.5 years.
Is okay, sir. She's perfectly okay. She can always take it up. I'm telling you, kindly register for the championship, and she will do very well. Earlier, the better, because there is no such right age. So Sachin was holding his bat when he was just small. Only underwear was there. Nothing else was there. Just he was 2.5, 3 years old. That's how he learned from his brother, elder brother, Ajit Tendulkar. And now you know how he went on to become a star. So don't you worry. Just put this baby into this memory sport. Let her go through the training. Let her practice. And maybe 1-2 years now, you can see the spark just coming out. Right? And I am there with you. If you want to get into, besides becoming memory champion, you want to break any Guinness World Record, I am there. I will tell you a plan, how you should go about it. So she's in the safe hands. And Hemanth sir is there, I am there, and many such trainers are there. We'll help you. Nothing to worry at all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time for me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. One last question. Anyone? One last question to Hemanth sir. Anyone? Who is this? Rajkamal. Rajkamal, unmute.
Sir, any suggestions for the while training, sir, avoiding phones or like that by personal experience?
He's telling what is your advice for a memory athlete? Should he be away from the mobile, television, any kind of distractions? What is your advice? Because all the children right now, they're hooked onto this mobile. So they may live without hand, but without mobile, they cannot survive. So tell us, what is the action plan that they should follow, sir? How they can, overcome the temptations?
Yeah, you see that advantages of technology, you cannot overemphasize. We are in a world where, we cannot do without this. But of course, as Swami Vivekananda said, anything in excess is poison. So let it be disciplined. And memory training has nothing to do with using or not using mobiles. Memory training is a normal thing. It's a normal learning that you have. And in fact, it is such a potent weapon that in few years time you will not need a need of pen and paper or mobiles to store your stuff. It will all be stored internally. So don't mix up these things, whether I should allow my child to use mobile or not. Okay, it's a using of mobiles, excessive use is no good. All those things are there. But don't mix up these two things. Memory training is a completely different thing. Get the child trained for that. And otherwise, other disciplines like not allowing him to watch too much television or not to use too much of mobile, that's a completely different thing.
Sir, adding on to what, he asked me a question. Many people even today, they question that memory has become redundant. It has become obsolete because you have a mobile, you have a laptop, you have every gadget to store, you have robots to work for you, you have artificial intelligence. Why should I use my brain? Why should I strain myself to remember all this? Everything is available there, click of a button. Why should I exercise my memory power? So many parents are asking this question. What do you think is your advice for this, sir?
Well, I'll give you a story of one woman. She said, I don't have to learn cooking.
Yes, sir.
Everything is there in the recipe books. I'll just follow the recipe books and I will cook.
Okay.
One day she lost the memory, the recipe book, and her husband had to go starving.
Okay.
God gave us the brain with a specific purpose, right? And that purpose was to remember things which we want. We don't want to remember all unwanted stuff, but the things which are required to be remembered have to be remembered. And for that purpose, God has given us this brain. But God didn't give us this brain just like that. He gave this, which is a capacity of storing anything and everything under the sun. Anything and everything. You can remember encyclopedias, you can remember history books, you can see the videos of people who have mastered this art. Anything is possible. 100,000 digits of pi, and you name it. So it is not just to memorize these things, abstract things. It is to make you strong and to be able to remember stuff which you need at that time. And that is the whole purpose of this training. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you so much, Hemanth, sir. And thank you so much, everyone. And Hemanth, sir, in spite of being so busy, he is talking to us live from Bahrain. Right. So those of you who want to get help from his expertise, and you just message me and I will share his mobile number. You can ask him any questions and he'll be more than glad to help you, because he is such a wonderful person. Because when I get stuck for any answer, I approach him and he's always there to guide me. And I'm sure you are going to have my mentor as your mentor. It's going to be a long way. So we had this privilege of interacting with Hemanth sir, who is a 3 times Indian memory champion and 2 times world memory champion. He has been talking to all of us. And I'm sure with this, you should be able to convince all the children who are right now listening on YouTube, on the Facebook, and also right now on the Zoom. You should be able to convince your parents that, yes, I want to be part of this memory championship. And then you should be able to promote this memory sports to your friends, to the school, college, your principal, to everyone. And so that everyone will take on this. Because when you have people who are like-minded, all of us are going to practice. Otherwise, we'll be all alone. You'll be left, and then you will not be wanting to practice this. Okay. That's the reason why you should take this memory as a day-to-day habit. And my life has changed so much after I took up this memory as a serious, sport. And then I'm sure you have only to me, then you think, oh, Jayasimha sir might be saying this, but we have Hemanth sir today. He's talking to all of us. So let us put our hands together. Thank Hemanth sir for his valuable time and also for sharing his wisdom and then his suggestions and lot of, expertise to all of us. Okay. So put all that into use, and then I'm sure you are going to rock in the coming memory championship. So follow his advice, and this video is going to come to you. So you can watch it once, twice, thrice, wherever you think you are not quite clear. You watch this video once again and then discuss with your family and take this memory as a serious sport. Let us travel together. Let us hold hands. I'm sure India is going to be the intellectual capital of the world. That's what is my aim. And very soon we will have this memory as a official sport in the sports category, and that is going to help all of us. Then people will take up this memory sport. So Hemanth sir, one last advice to all the participants who are going to take part in the memory championship. One last advice, and we also require your blessings for all the youngsters who are going to take part in the memory championship.
Well, just one thing, you have to spend some time on a consistent basis, discipline. Whether it is half an hour a day or 1 hour a day, you have to do it on a daily basis. You cannot just do it today and forget it tomorrow and then think of being a memory champion. No, it is not going to happen. It's like any other studies. So whatever you want to do it very sincerely. Put your heart into it, 100%. Even if it be 1 hour, do it sincerely. And you will start seeing the results. And I bet you, once you start seeing the results, that 1 hour you will want to make it 2 hours or 3 hours. And you will start finding time to do things which you like. So with that, I wish you all the good luck, and I wish you success in every aspect of your life. Success for always. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hemanth sir. We look forward to seeing you on 31st of October in the Indian Memory Championship. And guys, I have shared that website, jayasimha.in, National Memory Council of India.com, 99850-41777, 99850-31777, and you can call them up, contact them, and register for the championship. In case you still have a problem, my colleague Sunil sir has pasted the registration link in the chat box. You can click the link. Else, you can message me, or you can search for my name in the Google, Squadron Leader Jayasimha. You will go to my website and you can register there. So look forward to seeing all of you next Monday. Until then, stay home, stay safe. See you again. And let us put our hands together for a big round of applause. Gratitude to Hemanth sir. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, we really loved your session. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.